Hi, and welcome to my presentation for exogenic and endogenic. I think it's the forces though, I don't know. So we're going to start with what is endogenic. Endogenic forces can be divided into abrupt, catastrophically slow processes. Slow motion results in changes that happen very gradually and may not be apparent over a person's lifespan. An illustration of endogenic factors is the creation of mountains and earthquakes. What is exogenic? Exogenic forces, often known as external forces, are those that originate in the Earth's atmosphere or derive their energy from downland wearing forces since they wear down the land as a result of their operation. Down tides, erosion, and exogenic messes, I don't know, are examples. The difference between exogenic and endogenic forces. So I'm going to only mention two out of all of it. The principal exogenic processes include wasting, erosion, disposition, and weathering. Two, gradients from higher to lower levels from high to low pressure etc. cause all the motion on the Earth's surface and movements within the planet. Endogenic forces. The fact that these forces produce relief features on Earth's surface gives them the name constructive forces. The heat generated by the interior of the Earth is a primary energy source for forces that propel endogenic movements. So type of endogenic forces. We have number one, the slow movements, which is the stratospheric forces. The movement of the solid components that makes up the Earth's crust can produce forces known as catastrophic forces. Orogenic force processes. As in plate tectonics, orogenic or mountain-forming processes act tangentially to Earth's surface. The best example is this Himalayan alpine orogeny. Type of exogenic forces. Weathering. It can happen physically by rocks breaking down owing to pressure release, abrasion animals, and plant development, as well as chemically by rocks finally being broken by water, carbon dioxide, living things, and acid rain. Two, erosion. Natural forces like the wind, the water, ice, gravity transport clay materials away. Weathering is the first stage of erosion, such as surface water that is moving, wind, glaciers, water, and lastly, karst. So, questions and answer. I don't know if I'm supposed to read this out, but I will read the questions and the answers. So, what are exogenic and endogenic forces? The two main geomorphic pressures that cause Earth to move and shape the crust or the surface of the planet is endogenic and exogenic forces. Due to the ongoing development and deformation of landforms brought by these internal and external tension, the land surface is flat. Two, what are exogenic and endogenic forces? Endogenic forces are different from exogenic forces in that they come from within Earth, and their impacts are immediately observable since they inflict harm. Exogenic forces, on the other hand, are what affects the surface of the Earth, and impacts can still be seen thousands or millions of years later, like the volcano disruptions and all this stuff. It does happen, and yeah, it leaves a stain, and when it happens in the lands and countries where there's homes, it the water, when it mixed with the water and everything, it still will be seen up till today. All the pictures on the Google and everything. What are exogenic forces? Exogenic forces are often known as external forces that originate in the Earth's atmosphere or derive their energy from the outside of the planet. Exogenic forces are sometimes known as land-bearing forces since they wear down the ground as a result of their action. I don't think this was said in the description, but anyway. What are the effects of endogenic forces on the Earth? Internal forces, also referred to as exogenic forces, are the pressure within the Earth. Such internal forces contribute to both vertical and horizontal motions and cause earthquake, volcanism, faulting, land uplifting, and among other things. I think our last question, yes, is the last question. What is an example of endogenic forces? Earthquakes and mountain development are two instances of endogenic forces. The moon's tidal force and erosion are example of exogenic forces. So this is all I've put in my presentation. Thanks for listening.